Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your host for the evening, Mark Heath. Hello, friends. That was me. I don't know if you noticed. It was slick. All right, elephant in the room time, friends. This is not ideal, is it? After that game, yes. Town are 9 points behind Wolves, effectively 10, yada, yada, yada. We're going to try and have some fun here tonight. We're going to have some group therapy. There's going to be some fun and games. Ross is hopefully going to fall onto stage. We're going to give out a strike cup. Someone's going to be made a friend of the show. For one of you, in the evening, it's going to be the best night of your entire life. That's my promise to you. So welcome, first of all, to KOA Live 2, 5.5 years since we did the first one. The first one, Town lost. To Bristol Rovers, I think that was in League One. Fast forward 5.5 years, Town lost. This time in the Premier League, though. So welcome to the last ever KOA Live. But friends, do we have any survivors, first of all, from KOA Live 1? Raise your hands. Tony, of course. Ollie. I know there's someone else in here. Where's Stefan? I can't see him. Mate. I'll take. There we are. Hand. Superb. So you basically know the idea of the show. Essentially, this is going to be the podcast for this week. We want as many of you to get involved as possible. We're going to kick off with a bit of talk about the game. Which will have you, obviously, the opportunity to get involved. We'll have runners in the audience with mics. Then we're going to test the football knowledge of Alex Jones. He's always telling us that he knows everything about football. I'm going to put that to the test tonight. So one of you will hopefully prove him wrong this evening. Then we'll have an interval for about 25 minutes or so, allow you to fill your boots at the bar. We'll come back, we'll do mailbag. Hopefully plenty of you have already filled in mailbag. And then we're going to finish with a strike, which is the only way, obviously, we can finish. The strike cup being handed out for the first time. Literally, no expect spent on this. It's solid gold, honest. Anyway, friends, just before we get going, before I bring the boys on stage, a little bit of detail about this venue. This is a historic venue in Ipswich, in Suffolk. The Baths, or the Baths, as you say around here. Previous people to have played here: Led Zeppelin, Ed Sheeran. He's played everywhere, in Suffolk, and Rod Stewart. But most recently, friends, the one I like is, and probably most apt, Barry from EastEnders. Do not knock Barry Oakey. That is quality stuff. Anyway, shall we add some more big names to that illustrious list? I think we should. Let me bring out the rest of the boys. First up, he's the newest, and he's the youngest member of KOA, and I still haven't forgiven him for that. He bloody loves football. He bloody loves XG, and he's been a tremendous addition to the team. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you AJ Alex Jones.
Can't take it back, look where I'm at. We was OG like DOC, remember that. My TOC was quite OD, ID my facts. Now POV of you and me, similar Iraq. I don't hate you, but I hate to.
AJ, how are you? Bit of Taylor Swift there for you?
I thought that was going to be part of the intro, to be honest, when you were saying all the things that I loved, because that's now been added to it, seemingly. So, yeah, that was a nice intro, wasn't it?
Be honest, mate, and feel free to take a seat.
Thank you.
When we signed you from Millwall,
Yep.
Small club, did you think that one day you might be on stage in front of all these beautiful people?
Who booed?
Giving your player ratings, talking about Ipswich Town?
Yeah, it's not going to be the last booing of the evening, is it? Yeah, not really what I expected, to be honest. Well aware of what KOA Live 1 was, which I think was pretty cool, but a smaller venue than this, wasn't it? So to be here in front of everyone tonight, wow, there's a lot of you.
Yeah, this is roughly triple the size of KOA Live 1, so we're on an upward trajectory, even if the team maybe aren't. Although they are really, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course they are. What am I talking about? Shut up, Heath. let's get another man on. This is a guy who fell onto stage earlier when we were sound checking. He started life, I'll be honest, as a major pain in my arse. Major. But he's blossomed since then. He was once the prospect. Now he's the prodigy. He still can't bloody drive. But we all love him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ross Halls! Rossi, how are you?
I'm good, because I didn't trip up this time.
You did?
Rehearsals, I have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, I did trip up and Lily went flat on my face, which wouldn't have been good, but it would have been hilarious, I'm sure.
How did you feel about the intro? Because, again, peek behind the curtain, friends, Ross agonised over his intro tune. I genuinely think he thought this was WrestleMania.
It's coming up soon, so, you know.
It's more of Russellmania. See what I've done there?
Good.
Ross, did you get some good pictures today?
No. Yeah, the story.
Tell the story.
Obviously, we set up the venue, which it looks nice, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Looks pretty good. Yeah, big shout out to Wazza, who will be in the crowd, Matty Worrell. He gave us these lovely shirts, Love Ipswich Town shirts. And then obviously we got to the ground, had the media scran. Chicken stroganoff, if you're asking. Very nice. 8 out of 10, pretty good. And yeah, I then got my camera all prepared, and yeah, it's broken. So that's going to be about $2,000 of Heathy's going to invoice and all that jazz. So we'll talk about that later. So yeah, no snappy snaps from me. So I was actually in the press box where these boys do their typey types. So yeah, I didn't enjoy the view. I did not enjoy the view, to be honest, because it was bloody chilly up there. But I did get hot chocolate half time, so that's nice. But yeah, Heathy, sorry, you're the host. Go on.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I do have one other thing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, I famously didn't have a bath in Bath, but I do have a rubber ducky with me to have a bath in the bath. So people who run this event run this venue.
There's a shower in there.
Shower in there.
I'm not sure
that doesn't work, does it?
Doesn't quite work, no. Sit in a sink, maybe?
Maybe. This is Clive the duck. He'll just sit there for the show. So, if you want to, yeah. Anyway, Heath, take over.
I feel like we've had a major digression here.
It gets
right then, friends, there's obviously one more man to introduce to the stage. He's the big dog. He was the boss. Well, I'm the boss, but he's a smaller boss. He's my first ever appointment back in 2011. He's tussled over the years, so he's covered town since 2011. He's tussled with Big Mick, Paul Lambert, who famously accused him of delusion and fabrication. Which is all true. Generally, though, this is a rare, sincere moment, friends. I think he's the best journalist I've ever worked with. 100%. And I wanted to try something special. And I appreciate Town have lost, but I want you to try and do something for me, please. Take you back to COVID. The first friendly after COVID where fans could come to a game. Dartford away. I don't know how many people were there in this very arena. But I heard something there that I hadn't ever heard at a football game before. And that was a chant for the journalist. I think people were just incredibly excited to be out again. But that chant, my friends, was one Stuart Watson. And I'd like you to join me, if you wouldn't mind. I haven't told him about this. He will hate it. Which makes it all the more reason to do it. So, friends, will you join with me when I say, one Stuart Watson? There's only one Stuart Watson. One Stuart Watson. There's only one Stuart Watson. No. There's only one Stuart Watson. One Stuart Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Doctor, Stuart Watson. Stuart, first of all, sorry. I know you're a mad, humble, modest individual, but you deserve that. I can't believe you've not cried. That was the plan. How are you, mate? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. The chant actually, I think, at the time, do you remember when Paul Lambert couldn't get his head around the fact that my name wasn't Steve?
Yeah.
And I was Steve Watson for a while. I remember pulling up at Accrington and people chanting Steve at the car. I think I changed my Twitter profile to Steve for a little while. That was a fun time.
Amazing. We have literally, now I think about it, we've come so bloody far, haven't we? From there to the Premier League. Yes, they've not won today. Friends, we're going to kick off the show, though, with, unfortunately, a bit of analysis about the game. Obviously, Alex and Stu have just been speaking to Kieran and...
Jens Kajusta.
Who... What a player, what a goal. Start with you, Stu. The people probably won't have heard yet. What kind of mood was Kieran in post-match? Can you give us an insight?
Pretty deflated, and he's kind of looked like that for the last few weeks, to be honest. Certainly post-match, you always feel like he's putting on a bit of a brave face. I think he knows which way this is trending, and I think we all have for a little while now, but still trying to say the right things about how quickly it can turn and the games that are coming up. But yeah, he didn't pull any punches today. I sort of pressed him on both sides of the game that didn't work today, and yeah, he sort of didn't shy away from the fact that wasn't good enough, both in an attacking and defensive sense today.
Do you get the sense, Stu? He's obviously very level-headed. He's incredibly thoughtful, analytical, speaks really well. But the last couple of weeks, I've maybe sensed a slight edge to some of the stuff that he's saying in terms of disappointment. Clearly, it doesn't look good now for Town. Do you think that there's been a change in his demeanour at all?
No, I don't think you'll ever see a change in demeanour from Kieran. He's as level as they come. Very different to some of the predecessors that we've already discussed so far. Someone like Paul Cook, who wears his heart on the sleeve and would come out and say, "I'm not going to say anything today, lads," and then in the next breath call them Sunday League footballers. You're never going to get that from Kieran McKenna. But today he did sort of turn up the language used, talking about them being really terrible goals and things like that, which is quite unusual for Kieran. So from what I'm told, he's a different beast behind closed doors. He can issue a bit of the hairdryer treatment when necessary. I don't think you're ever going to see that sort of public facing from Kieran McKenna. But today might have been one of those days where he had to tell a few home truths.
Okay, and you spoke to Jens Kajusta, AJ. What a player, by the way, Jens Kajusta. What a goal. He's the world's coolest man. He's incredibly smooth. What kind of mood was he in post-game?
So, for those of you who might not have heard much of Jens Kajusta, he is a man of few words, I think. That's probably the best way of putting it. He's a great guy, though. Like, if you chose any players that you'd want to spend an afternoon with, I think Jens Kajusta would be probably quite high up that list. In terms of how he was, you always find a weird balance with players a lot of the time. They'll say the same things that Kieran McKenna will say, understandably. A lot of the time that you can find that they might come out like Luke Wolfen did after the Fulham game with something a little bit stronger, a little bit different. Jens Kajusta will keep it brief. He'll say what he's feeling, but it might not be a lot. So, yeah, he didn't pull any punches either. He was honest with where the club are, but as always, it's kind of just keeping your head down and making sure that you're focused on the next game. It is always like that, and it does become quite hard and repetitive. I'm sure it's the same for the players, but you can appreciate how hard it is for him as well. He's been brilliant today in a performance that hasn't really matched it. An excellent display, wasn't it?
Stu, you did an interview with Jens a couple of weeks ago, which is yet to hit the virtual streets or indeed the actual streets. Is there any chance, do you think, that we might have Jens back? Because he's been a highlight of the season, hasn't he, so far?
I'd be very surprised. I know everyone's probably desperate to see him back next season, but I think he's more than shown that he's a top-flight footballer. The only sort of question mark against him is this knee injury that he's been managing all season. It's another reason why he's not in the latest Sweden squad, but from what Kieran McKenna was saying at his last pre-match press conference, they feel like they've got that under control now. He's a top-flight footballer. I get the feeling he might want to complete the set of kind of Europe's top tiers. He's played France, he's played Italy, Premier League now. My gut feeling is La Liga next.
That's a shame. Ross, you've been silent. You watched it from a lofty perch today. Normally you're pitch side. Your camera broke, apparently. What did you make of it?
The first half an hour wasn't too bad, was it? Not bad. And then obviously Forest scored, and scored again, and scored again. So yeah, not good. Story of the season, as we were saying. It sort of summed up the season, that.
Right, let's get some questions from the audience if we can. Do we have our runners? I can't actually see the audience, so have we got our runners out there? There should be Liam, and there's Ben. You haven't got a mic, that's good. So we've planned this well. Liam? We need a mic.
Wazza, you be the man.
There we go.
Ben.
Could you just raise your hand if you'd like to say something? Keep it to the game at this point, because we're going to do mailbag, obviously, and that'll probably be a wider debate. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question or just make a statement. We've got one in the back there. Give us your name.
Hello,
Oh.
hello, Kings. I'm Dale. Why did he take off Greaves? Did you ask that, Stu?
Oh, good question.
I did, yeah. I sort of. It's interesting with the post-match press conference in the Premier League. There's a lot more people there, and quite often, the locals tend to lead these. Certainly, when we've been in League One and the Championship, in the Premier League, some of the national guys tend to jump in first. Today, deathly silence when it was who wants to lead today with Kieran McKenna. So I kicked things off. We went through the sort of all sides of the game, and then I thought, well, I don't want to hog all the questions. I'll leave it. No one else sort of took over. So Kieran was kind of half out of his seat and on his way out, and I thought, better ask about Greaves. Jumped in, said, was that tactical? And he just pulled a bit of a face and a bit of a grimace and nodded. So that was a tactical one today.
The goals weren't good, were they, Stu? Let's be honest. The goals that Forest scored, they were pretty bad.
Yeah, third goal was unforgivable, isn't it? We're talking about Premier League, and that's the level, and it's ruthless at this level, and sometimes you can accept that when it's world-class goals against, but that was just one big hoof over the top, ball allowed to bounce. That's at any level of football. Not good enough, that one today.
Just by show of hands, obviously this is a bit of a debate now, the Greaves versus Burgess debate. Just by show of hands, who would start Cam Burgess going forward? That's pretty much the majority. And just for the record, who would keep the faith with Greaves? Big John Watson.
Interesting.
John, I'm going to give you the mic. Just tell us why you think we should keep faith with Greaves.
He's going to be first choice next year, isn't he? So let's play him in. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You don't spend that kind of cash. Let's all not forget that in August he was player of the month, wasn't he? And he's still got the quality he showed right at the beginning. He's having a tough time right now, and I could understand if he's taken out the firing line for a game or two, but he's a better player than Burgess in my opinion. He's not playing well at the moment, but I would start him.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? Stick your hand up. We've got someone this side. Where's Liam? Oh. Come on, Liam. Liam from Crew, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you think we've
What's your name?
His name's not Tommy.
Tommy.
Sorry.
Go on, Tommy.
Do you think we've overspent, or do you think we've invested well?
Oh. Who wants to take that one? Ross?
Really, me?
Yeah?
Big questions for not a big dog. These are the big dogs. They know what they're talking about. I'm just here to, do the snappy snaps. Well, not today. Maybe we have.
What? Maybe is the answer. Maybe we have what?
On certain players, maybe.
What?
Names. Jaden Philogene, bless him. He didn't have a good game, did he? Didn't have a good game. You had a good game, John? What have you been drinking tonight? Liam drink. He lost the ball a lot. Well, or most players did. Yeah, in Ciso, bless him. He wasn't. Yeah, he was bless him.
I would agree. Ciso wasn't good today, was he? AJ, same question to you. Rescue Ross.
Well, I'm going to go down the other route and say no. I don't think Town have overspent. This is a squad that have come up from League One, and you look at how many players have had to make the step up, and you have to invest at the end of the day. And the teams that don't invest will go down. Trying to find the right formula is really, really difficult. And one of the things I know that gets said quite a lot is you look at Forest defender Milenkovic. I think he cost less than what Jacob Greaves did. And I think I might have said this on the pod before. Lionel Messi was free. It's not just about trying to pay a transfer fee. You've also got to convince the player to come to your club. You've also got to make sure you're paying them a wage that they want. So there's lots of different factors that come into it. And when all these players signed, I don't think we were sat here saying, oh, wow, Amari Hutchinson, 30 million, is that? No, we were excited by it. It was the right thing to be excited by it. And for pretty much the core group of them as well, there's a long-term future there as well. And with the other clubs down at the bottom, not sure you can say that.
Okay, fair enough. Next question, raise your hand. I see we've got loads on this side. This side are very much into the questions.
Good evening, I'm James. So there's the old adage that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I think, again, we've seen McKenna set up in the 4-2-3-1. We've seen the same front four. We've seen the same front four kept on for much longer than they should have been. And then we've seen the likes of Hurst and Broadhead and Clark come onto the pitch, change the game. We score 2 goals after the subs come on. And I think, once again, I cannot see that we won't start the next match with Philogene, with Hutchinson, with Delap. Is it wrong, is it unfair to suggest that McKenna is maybe a bit stubborn, a bit set in his ways, has a lack of plan B, particularly when we're seeing that the second string are outshining the starters?
Good question. Stuart Watson.
Yeah, it's a very valid debate, I think. And, I asked Kieran today about the lack of cohesion in attack today and what that comes down to. And he says that is going to be something that he has to reflect on in terms of sort of building partnerships in this team. Today it looked like a collection of individuals, too many similar players, sort of players all playing off the cuff, Hutchinson and Ciso, Delap, maybe all trying to do it on their own, and they've lost the patterns of play in those back-to-back promotions. It was almost telepathic at times, wasn't it? Everyone knew it was a well-oiled machine, and they've lost a lot of that. What I would say in Kieran's defence is that obviously injuries have played a big part in him not being able to name the same team. He's never named an unchanged team once all season. I don't think he's ever named the same 11 in the same game, let alone back-to-back throughout the entirety of the season. So that's really not helped. You go back to kind of, Donasian and Burns, for example, being on the same wavelength, and so many different partnerships. It just hasn't happened this season. So he today admitted that maybe he hasn't got the balance right in some of those things. I think they've missed some experience at the top end of the pitch. People like Schmodix, Chaplin. It's a very young front four today, isn't it? So what could he have done differently? I guess the plan B would be more of the back three and wing backs and a bit more pragmatic. And he did that after Newcastle, didn't he? They went to Arsenal and kept it to a goal, and obviously, that there was that spell where they beat Chelsea as well. I saw Russell Martin recently talking about the lessons he's learned and how he would approach things differently this season, and I'm sure Kieran will do exactly the same when he looks back.
Okay, let's take one more question. I'm going to come to as many people as possible. I'm going to come first of all, though, because this guy sponsored the show. He's a VIP. Tony Southgate from Ginger Pickle. You can have my mic.
I paid to ask the question. We had 2 midfielders in today that are on loan that probably won't be with us next season, that are keeping Sammy Morsey out the team. Do we think he's got a place in the team beyond this season? Personally, I don't.
Who would you like to answer that?
All of them. Stu.
Stu, he's paying the bills. You've got to answer that.
Centre midfield, yeah, it's clearly. I think it looks like it's going to be Championship next season. Calvin Phillips and Jens Kajusta won't be here. Sam Morsey is going to be 1-2 years older than he was during that championship promotion season, so that is the key area of recruitment for me this summer. Obviously, Cameron Humphreys comes back and by all accounts has been very, very good for Wycombe in League One this season. But that is the area that I think they've maybe fallen short in at times in the Premier League, because it's the athleticism that's lacking. Sam Morsey, I thought he surprised me in how well he took the step up at the start of the season, but he has dropped off a bit in the second half of the season, and I do think Phillips Kiyusta has been the better midfield partnership. I thought both of them were decent today, Kiyusta in particular, so getting that midfield recruitment in the summer is going to be massive.
Right, we're going to come back to some questions. I want you all, again, a peek behind the curtain time. Stu, you and Alex play a game after every match. This is your favourite part, Alex. This is where you're going to get booed.
Yeah.
It's the player ratings game, Stu. So if you could explain to the audience how this works, and then we can get them involved. It's a good game to do it on, isn't it?
Great game. It kills maybe the first 5-10 minutes of a journey home from away days. Normally I haven't seen Alex's player ratings, so I try and have a little guess at them. So we thought we could get you all involved today.
So how does it work then? So you sit in the car, you start with the keeper, obviously.
Yep.
Alex gives you the score?
No, I have to guess.
Okay, so you
We're
kick
not
us off.
normally
and
far
then
apart.
You kick us off,
Yeah.
and then we'll get going. We'll get the audience involved.
Goalkeeper's always a really difficult one. It sets the tone, and we see if we can get off on the right footing. How do you rate Alex Palmer today? 4 goals against, none were particularly could be pinned on him. So where do we land on a score out of 10 for him? Had that one little nervy moment, didn't he, where Davis played him that short back pass and he got in a bit of a pickle in the second half. But 5?
It was indeed a 5. Yeah.
You happy with that?
What do we think? What would you guys have done? 6. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, maybe a bit harsh.
And then we go on to O'Shea.
Then we go on to O'Shea at right back.
So we got 5. Higher or lower for O'Shea? Higher. Higher.
Higher. Well, I'm justifying this one. It ended up being the same. It was a 5.
5?
This one, yeah. Someone, I don't know, I assume you might be here today. Someone on Twitter posted a bingo card. It's called Sammy, I think it was, which included, there we go, saw the hands, which included me to get booed at least 4 times on this. We're on 2. We've
That's
only
2.
done
That's
2 players.
Yeah.
So, yeah, top line's the one to go with.
A good assist, didn't he, for the Hurst goal?
Yeah,
O'Shea.
exactly. But I feel like if you're conceding 4 goals in a home game, it's not exactly the best kind of marker to set, no.
Okay, so O'Shea was
5.
5. Wolfie, what are we saying, Wolfie then? Higher or lower than a 5? Higher. Higher, same. The consensus, I think, seems to be 6.
There were a lot of the same, and it is indeed the same. So well done to people who said that.
5 again.
It was a 5 again.
5 again. Explain yourself.
Wolfie on the 5's what?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying how you think they compare. What your scores would be compared to mine? What do you think it should be, higher or lower? Yeah. So we're saying higher. Okay. So the consensus I think should be a 6. And again, same kind of thing. Conceding 4 goals. There were a couple of moments I thought he looked a little bit switched off. Didn't cover himself in glory for the third one when he goes to challenge for the bouncing ball, goes over him. I don't think he was one of the worst defenders, but it wasn't one of his better ones.
Okay, the next one I kind of hesitate to ask. So it's a 5.
Whoa.
5 for Wolfie. Jacob Greaves. Lower or higher?
So we got 4,
Let's-
3.
Does anyone think he deserved a 3 today? Are there people? You can't have -2, was there?
Hands up for 4. Hands up for 3. Ooh, that's a bit. What do we think? Is that a 50-50 split, roughly?
Certainly borderline.
Yeah.
What did you give him?
So, in my time doing player ratings, which has been just over a year and a half, I've not given anything lower than a 4 because there are a lot of different caveats that come into it. It's a big step up for a lot of these players, but this was the first 3 I have given. First goal, his clearance leads to getting the ball back into the box. Second goal, wow, I can't even remember which one's what. It's the one where Elanga runs at him and he just kind of backs off, which is disappointing. And the third goal, he's just kind of, again, switched off a little bit. Needs to be closing it down. Doesn't get near Elanga. Hooked at half-time. Not great.
Leif Davis is obviously...
Wow, someone... Oh, wow, I'm really...
Got a good heckler there.
Good stuff. Leif Davis obviously higher. So we're going to skip through that. What did he get?
Leif Davis is on with... We've had him on a 5.
Okay. Jens Kajusta, obviously.
Jens Kajusta... So just to double check, man of the match, I assume we're all fairly happy with that. Yeah, Jens Kajusta, you all said higher. It is higher. It's on a 7. I couldn't really push myself to go for an 8 in a game where Town have lost, but I mean, he's so good, isn't he? Like, even before the goal, everything he was doing on the ball, so silky, so smooth, but also so strong into tackles, which you don't expect of someone that, has the height, but is quite lean. So, ticked all the boxes for me. He's so clearly a level above what Town have at the moment. And then the goal as well. The spin, the shot. Oh, brilliant. Loved it. So, brilliant from him.
So next is Calvin Phillips. That's obviously, I'm guessing.
Well, it's not... We've got 6.
See, we've got 5, we've got 6. Seems to be 6s.
Seems to be 6s. Someone is very, very strongly shouting 5, and I did have him on a 5, which...
You had him on a 5?
I did have him on a 5, and he started off really well, and then I thought...
That's 3.
3. I don't know if we're halfway through the team yet. For him, it was one where I thought he started really well, and I think I turned to you and said, he looks so much better than he has been, and I think it was circumstances that didn't help him. Town capitulated after the first goal went in, and I just thought his levels dropped off, so it kind of took it from a 6 to a 5 for me.
5 for Calvin Phillips. Rossi, I'm looking at you now. Jaden Philogene. Higher or lower than a 5, Rossi?
Oh.
Speak your truth.
He had an average game, 5.
6? We got 6, we got 4. 4. Good point. What do you get?
Can I just say, the fact that you've gone from 4s to 6s across the board shows how fun these are for me to do. He ended up... Oh, here comes the 4th boot. He ended up on a 4. I really wasn't that...
You get claps now.
Thank you. The defensive stuff. I mean, the one moment I remember defensively that he did is he came up against Hudson-Odoi, and I thought, this is going to be a test of his defensive strength. And Hudson-Odoi just walked the ball straight out of play, and then he ended up high-fiving O'Shea. I was like, it didn't really do that much there, but I mean, potentially, I think the off-ball stuff has improved with him, hasn't it? But on the ball, I'm struggling to see what he's offering going forward at the moment, and he looks so lightweight, and that's a big concern for me. So he ended up on a 4.
Okay, Amari Hutchinson.
Higher or lower?
He's got to be higher, surely, hasn't he, Amari Hutchinson? Didn't have his best game today, but he's got to be higher than... What did you give him? 5. 5 at best as the King of the North. What did you give him?
Well, the fact that it's 5 at best is good, because here comes that 4th boo. Get your bingo cards out, ladies and gentlemen. He joined the 4 club.
Oh!
7?
Wow. Okay, and then we've got 2 players left, haven't we? I'm trying to keep mine in my head. Julio and Ciso. Now, I'll be honest. I cursed him because I said he was going to be the X Factor and he's going to win the game. Ruined him. What did you give him?
Right, I've just come on and said I've never given lower than a 4 before, and I've already given a 3 out to Jacob Greaves. So those of you going around saying 2, I'm not really sure where we're going with this. Again, part of the 4 club. On the left, didn't really do that much for me, and it just felt that his decision-making was wrong. Well, come on. Before this has been all right. And I can kind of understand as well. He's just come back from an injury. He's coming into a team where he's only played with these guys for a few games, hasn't he? Because he pulled up so early. He does, and I get that. And probably there are too many issues with him, and I don't think him and Amari can play in the same team. That's a concern. And when you have 2 players that maybe try and do a little bit too much by themselves, as we'll come on to, that again can be a bit of an issue.
Right, final player then. I'm going to ask Stu this. We come full circle, Stu. The man who started the game finishes the game. Liam Delap. So we've gone from a 4, higher or lower?
Probably the same, yeah. Again, he's another one where...
You agree with that? 4s for Liam Delap. We thought he was going to get picked for England.
Yeah, there was an interesting one today, wasn't it? Where Nottingham Forest, they chanted some interesting chants, their fans at Thomas Tuchel, and Morgan Gibbs-White, I'm sure, will be really frustrated. Maybe proved a point with his performance, and Hudson-Odoi as well, pretty good. Don't think Liam Delap did today, and it's been a bit of a continuation of where he's been over the last few weeks. So he did get a 4. Chase shadows, snatched at things, decision-making was wrong, ran into the wrong areas, and there wasn't many times where he made the right decision, I don't think. So it was, a disappointing one. And unfortunately, when Town need that bit of X factor in the final third, he's not brought it in the last few weeks.
Can we flip that into a positive? That is there half a chance that you can keep Liam Delap, because I don't think anyone was massively surprised that he wasn't in the England squad this week. I think that talk came too soon. I get the logic that it's better served being in the under-21s with the major tournament coming up, but since that Chelsea game, we haven't seen the best of Liam Delap, have we? You know, he's gone from sort of crashing into centre halves and exciting us, marauding runs, all that sort of stuff. He's looked a little bit sort of off the cuff and individual and trying to win it on his own for a little while. And I know he's not best served by the team not being fully functioning behind him, but if we're talking about mega money for Liam Delap and buyout clauses of £40 million plus, maybe people's interest might drop off a little bit for those sort of figures. I don't know. I mean, I still think he will go because he's English and there's so few strikers of his type, but maybe we could flip that into a little bit of a positive, maybe.
We need some sort of positive, don't we? This has not been the most uplifting section. So bad news, Town look like they're going to get relegated. Good news, we all got an Ed Sheeran sticker today, didn't we? Mine's already on eBay. Friends, let's take a few more questions very quickly, because we've already overrun massively on this part of the show. We've got a mic down here. Yes.
Hi, Liam. Is my name. The Delap thing's interesting. So I think he will go, but I also think Hurst coming on for Delap shows the difference between the two, where Liam Delap's been a very entertaining individual marauder, whereas George Hurst is much more of a connector and feels like the striker who we will have playing for us next season. So I don't know. I guess the question is like, who do we think our forward line will be? You know.
I think if Delap goes, Hurst is the leading striker for next season, no doubt about it. And he does change the way the team plays. He's different to Delap. He runs in behind. He stretches things. I think he's a player's player. I think he's someone that they'll really appreciate the channel runs. How good was that header today, by the way? What a finish. So I would have absolutely no qualms with George Hurst being the leading number 9 next season.
Okay, good question. Next question. Let's take 2 or 3 more quick fire questions. Can we take one from this side? Where's Liam? There we go.
Matt.
Matt. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just following on from the Delap and George Hurst debate. I like what Stu said in the podcast this week about why don't we try Delap on the wing and put Hurst up front, because Hurst brings other people into play, and Delap done well on the wing for Hull last season. It's just we never seem to have a plan B. It's just either one or the other.
This feels like it should come to you again, Stu. Well, actually, let's ask Alex, because we've heard Stu explain this a lot. I like the sound of it. Let's be honest. What have Town got to lose at this stage? Little wrinkle we've not seen. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a bit rogue. It's different. And as you say, what have Town got to lose? Is it something that I think Kieran McKenna would do? No. And I think it's about partially the profile of the right-sider. Is Liam Delap that? I'm not really too sure. Is he going to occupy the spaces that you want your right-sider to in a Kieran McKenna system? Not too sure. And the right side in general is a bit of an issue, isn't it? Because Kieran McKenna wants very particular players. He wants a Chiedozie Ogbene, he wants a Wes Burns, who are fast, who'll run the channels, good deliveries, good crosses, aggressive, physical players, and maybe there are some aspects of it that would work. but others I think would be a bit of an issue. And then does that then tinker too much with the balance of the team where it's at? We're talking about wanting consistency and continuity. Does putting your top goal scorer on the right wing, does that really fit in with that? So I would like to see it at some point, even if it is off the bench and you can fit in those two players in that way, but I can't see Kieran McKenna doing it from the start.
Okay, let's do 2 more questions. Let's have one from this side. Has anyone got a question for Ross and his duck?
Good old Clive.
Because I feel like you were being quite quiet. We've got a question down here.
Be easy on me, K-Dog. Be easy on me.
Don't worry, it's not about the duck. So just one final thing about Delap and Hurst on the pitch together. Do we think that, or do you think that the lack of a third striker option off the bench sort of limits the options that we have in having Delap and Hurst on the pitch at the same time? Because obviously with Al Hamady out on loan, no third striker came in the summer or January. Having both our number 9s on the pitch at the same time means that any problems, fatigue, injury, etc., there's no one to bring off. As we know with Hurst's injury record, potentially hasn't got 90 minutes in him. So I just wonder if you think that could be part of the issue, that you can't have them both on the pitch at the same time starting a game because we've got no one there to play the 9 in their place.
Good question. Very good question. Stu, you about to say something, mate? No, you're an expert.
Come on, Ross.
Yeah. No, good point. And obviously, yeah, McKenna wanted that first striker, didn't he, in January? We all wanted that. We were all actually a bit disappointed, weren't we, in January? When the window slammed shut, we're like, oh, they didn't get that first striker. We want that Italian guy, didn't he? The Luca.
Well, not after what Lorenzo Luca did a few weeks ago.
What has he done?
I can't remember what. Remember
he insisted he took a penalty, didn't he? And
the
the rest of his team out the way, and then he's not a McKenna player. I don't think it's fair to say.
No. But yeah, I think it is a fair point because I'd love to see them both be playing at the same time, and yeah, put Delap on the wing and see what happens, and just bring carnage into the defence of the other team. But we haven't got that first striker, so I don't think McKenna's going to do it.
Okay, one more question. Can we take one from this side? I appreciate there's been loads of people who haven't had a chance, but we're running out of time for this part. Who have we got?
Yeah, Isla, by the way. I'm just going to say Nathan Broadhead is my question. The GOAT, by the way. Is there a reason that you think that he's not playing when he comes on and he delivers every single time? Do you think the reason that he's not playing is because the investment that we've put in Jack Clark, Jaden Philogene, etc., that we have to prove a point of the fact that we've invested in these players is why we're not playing the likes of Nathan Broadhead, when Nathan Broadhead is better than half the players that we are playing, such as Jack Clark and CISO. Like, I would have loved to see Nathan Broadhead today, but it took it till the 80th minute for him to come on the pitch. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is that the reason why?
Good question. I'm going to ask you, Stu, but before I get to Stu, do people agree with that? Nathan Broadhead should be playing more? Yeah? The motion is passed. He plays. Stu?
The first thing I'd say is I love Nathan Broadhead and everything he's done for this football club, and he's absolutely looked like a Premier League footballer when he's had his moments on the pitch this season. There's a reason he was at Everton previously. Technically, he's got all the qualities there. I do think sometimes people become better players when they're not in a team that's not doing well, and we kind of elevate these players. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the case with Nathan Broadhead. I do think there's definitely something in, if you don't have the transfer fee attached to you, it maybe limits your chances a little bit more. There's definitely something in that. I would imagine probably the off-the-ball stuff comes into it a little bit with Nathan Broadhead. There were times in the Championship where, I looked at some of the goals against, and it was maybe his off-the-ball stuff, his marking at set pieces, things like that, stuff that maybe goes under the radar a little bit. Certainly in the athleticism of the Premier League, I think Kieran McKenna wants these sort of more dynamic pressers in his front line, which maybe Nathan Broadhead doesn't quite tick that box, but technically he's a very good player, and I can see the frustration in having not seen as much of him in recent weeks.
Okay, thanks everyone for your questions. I appreciate we've not taken all of the questions, but we need to move on, otherwise we'll be here all night. And it's the hour of reckoning for Alex Jones, the king of football knowledge. And we're about to put that to the test, Alex, because you're going to take someone on from the audience in a game show that I'm calling Who Wants to Be a Football Mastermind millionaire. Yes, it's a complete shambles. So we're going to get someone from the audience who wants to test themselves against Alex, who's always telling us he knows everything about football. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Liam, for running the mics. Who fancies themselves against Alex Jones? Because there's a crown up for grabs. This guy right here. This is the guy. Come up, sir.
Come on.
Might as well just come straight on the stage, actually. Yeah, just step up. Health and safety. There we go. Excellent. AJ, stand up. Face the audience, sir. Face the audience. What's your name?
I'm James.
Do you think you know more about football than Alex Jones?
I can have a fair go.
AJ, how are you feeling about this? Because I know there are many things you pride yourself on. I'd say the top three are voice of an angel.
Yeah.
XG knowledge.
Yeah.
And that you bloody know everything about football.
The 2 and 3 not coming to the...
Well, XG, kind of boring. How are you feeling about this, AJ?
Ever since this plan was kind of floated to me a few weeks ago, I've become increasingly less confident. So let's see how this goes.
Okay. Rossi, can we have your mic, please, for AJ's competitor? Sorry, I've forgotten your name already.
James.
James.
You stews.
Are we going to be okay with the... we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how we get on.
Perils
Watson,
of live performing.
Watson, you're keeping score.
Yeah, don't let me.
Right, the way this is going to work, round 1, 6 questions each, 1 point per correct answer. You do have lifelines.
Yep.
Tenuous, I know, but I've thrown that in. You can either ask the audience, someone in the audience, or indeed the whole audience by show of hands, or you can phone a king. and let's be honest, it's going to be Stu. Stu, are you ready to keep score? First question, Alex Jones. Where and when was the first World Cup held?
So I think we're coming up for the anniversary of this one, and they had the chance to bring it back there. I believe... I have to get both right to get the point.
Yes.
This is rigged.
We're not doing half points, we'll get too complicated.
Can I steal?
No, you've got a question coming up. Look at this. Put the pressure on him, James. Go on.
This is
choke.
intimidating. Okay. Bit of a guess, bit of a gut feeling. I'm going to go 1930 in Uruguay.
Ooh, correct. 1 point, Alex Jones.
The fact you think you knew that, did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
James, your first question. Who won the first World Cup?
That was Uruguay, I believe.
It was. 1-1. Battle of the Titans.
Oh, no.
Alex Jones, when was the first Premier League season?
1992-93.
Correct. 2-1, Alex Jones. James, who won the first Premier League?
So you're saying who won the first season of football?
Yes, exactly. There wasn't football before then.
No, exactly. So it's Manchester United.
Correct. 2-2. Alex Jones, Liverpool have won 6 Champions Leagues and Man United 3, but who are England's third most successful team?
Is this counting European Cups as well? You don't know.
I just Googled it, mate.
Is there time on this?
It's not Norwich.
Gonna have to push you, AJ. What's your answer?
I'm going to go... Oh, it's really throwing me here, but I'm just going to say Chelsea because I don't think it's right, but I'm
Apparently,
missing out here.
Google has told me it's Nottingham Forest.
Forest, fair enough.
Themed, you see, for
Ah.
the game. So there's an opportunity here, James, for you to take the
No
first
pressure.
lead.
Oh, dear.
It's a good question. Again, Champions League. Which outfield player has appeared in the Champions League final in 3 different decades?
Oh.
Outfield stumps me because otherwise I'd have said someone like Buffon, which
Yeah, it's
is a
outfield.
famous
Yeah, yeah.
goalkeeper.
Yep.
Outfield 3 decades. Cannavaro?
Incorrect. Ryan Giggs. Giggsy. Okay, question 4, AJ. England's all-time leading goal scorers in the Euros have both bagged 7 goals. But, friend, who are they? Gonna have to push you.
Oscar King. It's down. So my knowledge in terms of England stuff's not great, and I feel that Stu. Oh, don't make that face at me. Stu, I think has. I thought had more of an idea of this one. So help me out, Stu.
I don't think I can, Alex. So two players have scored 7 goals for England at Euros.
Well, you should have come up here then, shouldn't you?
Kane and Lineker are the sort of 2 names that spring to mind, but I don't know about Euro Championships. I mean, Rooney lit up.
That's your friend. He's saying Kane and Lineker.
I'll take Kane and Lineker.
Wrong. Kane and Alan Shearer.
Should have asked me.
What would you have said that, Ross?
What's the score? Shuey, what's the score? 2-2. Ooh. Another chance for you to take the lead, James. Who scored the golden goal, do you remember those? To win the Euro 2000 final between France and Italy.
So that was France who won it. Trying to cast my mind back to the French team. You got the likes, I think, of Wiltord, Henry.
Remember, you have lifelines.
Yeah.
I'm so
I'd like to
screwed.
ask the audience here.
Is there someone in the audience you'd like to ask particularly? Does anyone
offered to steal?
Yeah.
I think it was David Trezeguet.
It was David Trezeguet. Superb. Okay, James has broken serve. AJ, no pressure. I lied to you when I said there wouldn't be any Ipswich Town questions.
Oh.
There's one Ipswich Town question for both of you, but it's a season that you covered.
Oh, okay, right.
Gerard Buebo featured in 1 league game for Town.
I'm going to say...
In the Championship promotion season. Let me finish the question.
Yeah, all right.
Who against?
QPR at home.
Correct! 3-3. James to stay ahead. Town got a big come-from-behind win to beat Sunderland and kickstart their 2024 in January after an indifferent Christmas. 2-1, they beat Sunderland. Who scored the equaliser? Again, you've got options.
Yeah.
I mean, there might have been a man out the game, covering the game.
Yeah, Steve, can I ask you?
Now I'm panicking. Chaplin scored the winner, header. Who got the equaliser?
Well, sure, mate.
So obvious, is it? I don't know. Broadhead?
The answer he's given you is Broadhead. The audience do not like it.
I don't like that either.
What are you going to say?
I think it's someone who's no longer with the club. I think it's someone who's playing in the Championship at the moment. I think it might be Caden Jackson.
It is Caden Jackson! What's the score? 4-3, James. Final question of the first round. AJ, name the year. You weren't alive, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, good.
Name the year. Gazza made his Lazio debut, Gary Lineker retired, and Barcelona won the European Cup.
Now, my fear is the audience probably don't want me to win this. And if I turn to you guys and ask for help, I might.
Don't be like that, come on.
I'm going to ask the audience because I have no idea. Hands up, who knows this one?
Ben Diaz thinks he knows.
I'm going to say 1992.
Correct. Right. Final question, first round. James, name the year Sunderland scored a goal off a beach ball deflection Burnley were promoted to the Premier League, and France scored a very controversial goal against the Republic of Ireland through a Thierry Henry handball.
Okay, so I'm thinking it's early 2010s sometime. With the France handball, I think that was a World Cup qualifier. So I'm going to say 2013.
Sorry, that's wrong. 2009. What are the scores at the end of the first round, please, Stu?
4-4.
All to play for. Woo! Woo!
We are gripped.
Thank you. Right, true or false now, 1 point each. Alex. Liverpool legend Kenny Dalglish is known as King Kenny because he's related to the royal family. I mean, it seems implausible, but is it?
Yes, false.
Correct. James, the common football phrase, true or false, park the bus, occurred following an occasion when Chelsea's bus driver fell ill and Jose Mourinho had to park it.
False.
Correct. Okay. We're still locked level, aren't we, Stu? 4-all? 5-all? 5-all. Okay. There's 3 points on this next question because it's a Mark's big question. Remember that? What's your favourite cheese? No. Right, this is a first to give me an answer. So it's a hands up or just say your name. Who is the only player to captain England while playing in the 4th tier of English football? Oh. Look at me. It may be a trick question.
James.
Yes?
No one ever has.
No. I haven't said which sport the player captained England.
Oh, James.
Yeah?
In both.
Yes! Yeah. What's the score?
James now leads by 3. He gets 3 for that.
Okay, well, there is one final question, AJ. This is your chance to catch up, though, because I've made it. I've made it an accumulator. Okay, I'm about to list, or you're about to list, the top 6 scorers in Premier League history. I want you to tell me how many of that top 6 you can name, and then you get the amount of points for the players that you name. But if James tries to block you and just says 6, and you fail, James, you will lose 6 points. So tell me, how many of the top 6 scorers in Premier League history do you think you can name? AJ, you've got to go higher because you're 3 points behind. I need to push you.
What happens if I say a number, I don't get the number?
Then you lose the points.
Oh, wonderful. We'll go 4 then.
4.
Name them.
Name them, right. Let me set this up. This is brilliant. Alex Jones, if you can name 4 of the top 6 Premier League scorers ever, you win this quiz. If you fail, you will never live it down.
So, just to check, do I have to name the top 4, or is it any of the top?
Any of the top 6. I have 6 names here. If you can name me 4 of them without giving me a wrong name, you've won.
Shearer.
Oh, Shearer, yes. 1.
Omri. Oh. Have I lost already?
You have. He's not there. I'll give you the rest. Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Andy Cole, Mo Salah, Sergio Aguero.
And the worst thing is, I probably could have got the rest.
I'd have said Henri as well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
just rub it in.
Your winner of Who Wants to Be a Football Mastermind Millionaire is James. And James, we spent loads of money. You get a crown. There we go. Put this on. Give James his royal cape. Get this on, James. This is big. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner is James. you you have to now wear that.
before your kid.
You have to now wear that for the rest of the show.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Accepted.
Thank you. Thank you for beating AJ, because I'll never let him forget it.
Have I just lost my job?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the first half. There's going to be an interval of about 25 minutes. Fill your boots at the bar, go for a ciggy, whatever, and then we'll be back to complete the show. Thank you very much. Hello. I'm not going to give it the big build-up because it doesn't feel justified the second time. Friends, I hope you intervalled well. I hope you filled your boots at the bar, had some nicotine refreshment if that's your vibe, and you're ready for a second half, which is going to finish with the strike.
Come on.
Yes! Right, we've just been reviewing all the mailbag questions, and there are a lot of them. So we're not be able to get through all of them, but obviously we greatly appreciate all the input. So we'll take as many as we can. Going to start with this one. This is from Colin. If you strip away all the hype, is George Hurst actually a better striker than Liam Delap? First of all, where is Colin? Colin, good question. Good question, Colin. Going to be awkward for someone.
Don't look at me.
Is George Hurst, when you strip away all the strikes, all the hype, Stu, is George Hurst actually a better striker than Liam Delap? That's what Colin wants to know.
God, that's a difficult question, isn't it? Because I can see where you're coming from. Delap clearly has the far higher ceiling. I think Hurst is probably the more mature striker at this stage of his career. So it's a bit of a fence sitter there. But, we've touched upon this already. I think everyone's got full faith in George Hurst kind of stepping into his boots next season, which is what it's looking like at this moment in time.
AJ, what would you say?
They're very different. That's the main thing. They're very different strikers. Form plays a big bit, and at the moment, to be honest, if the Bournemouth game was coming up now, and I don't know how things are going to be soon, I'd start George Hurst in that next game, to be honest. Who would start George Hurst against Bournemouth? Hands up.
Wow. That's
And
more
who
than
would
I
start
thought.
Liam Delap against Bournemouth? Well, there you go, Kieran McKenna, that's sorted.
Seems to be that more people would start George Hurst. Interesting. Good question, Colin. You obviously believe that to be the case, do you? You think Hurst is better than Delap? Good question. Thank you. Right then, another question. This comes from the whole KOA crew. So I don't know if that means everyone in here. But I think it's something we all want to know. For Ross, it just says driving test yet.
No comment.
What is the latest, Ross, on the driving?
I actually haven't failed one yet. I just haven't took one.
Theory test we're talking about, Ross.
Huh?
Theory test.
I need to turn up to them, to be fair. Yeah, so, to be continued. We'll get there. We'll get there one day. I said that 5 years ago, but yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, Ross, it's been 5.5 years since we did the first KOA pod. If there's another 5.5 year gap between here and KOA Live 3, will you be driving by then? I agree with you.
Yeah, I have to admit, probably nearly half of this crowd is probably giving me lifts.
Stop enabling Ross. He's got to learn. He needs some tough love. I'm looking at all of you. Right then, this is from James and Matt. So I don't know where James and Matt are. Hopefully they're still here on the left. There we go. Has McKenna's stock gone down this season? Yes, and do you see another win this season? AJ, you take McKenna's stock. Okay. Actually, take both of them because the second one is not quite as hard as the first one, is it? Has McKenna's stock gone down from James and Matt?
Yeah, quite clearly. I think. I mean, we were sat. You remember it was just us two who were working during the McKenna madness period last summer, when there was so much floating about Brighton, Chelsea, Manchester United, and two of those are the biggest clubs in the world. One of them is a side that will probably be in Europe next season, and I think that, I think it's fairly clear there was some very strong interest with some very big clubs. Is that going to happen this summer? I'm sure that there will be teams that will look at Kieran McKenna and what he's done at Ipswich and be really impressed. But is it going to be the same? I don't think so. And yeah, I'm sure the Vincent Kompany argument comes in. I'm not quite sure that that's going to kind of run into what is going to happen for Kieran down the line. Do I see another win this season? Yeah, I see another win this season. I don't know when, but they'll do it. They're going to win a game.
Stewie, when are they going to win a game?
When?
When?
Wolves.
Yes! It won't matter, but... this is from Rachel. Well, we had a couple of questions about this, so timing substitution. This one got picked because there was a name on it. So I don't know where you are, Rachel. Are you still with us? There you are. Where? Excellent. Thank you very much, Rachel. What are your thoughts, Ross,
oh God,
on the timings of substitutions? I don't know if you mean just in the game today or just generally. Generally. So McKenna has tended to leave it a bit later to make changes. Clearly there are factors, injuries, all that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts about that?
no, Stu's looking at me really deeply here. He's like, "Come on, Rossi boy, what we got on it?" Yeah, I agree. Or in terms of, I was sitting in the press box today and just thinking, when the hour mark here, I was like, we need to make some fresh legs, get some creativity on there, and we didn't see that, did we? So I think it needs to be had. I'm not going to say I'm going to do Kieran McKenna's job here, but K-Dog, mate, maybe do some earlier changes, just to freshen up a little bit. Because come on, like 78th minute, players like Broadhead and the rest, that's not enough time really for them to really get touch of the ball, have a little bit of feeling, get into the game. So yeah, I think hopefully McKenna will go and look at that, but because he has done it before, he has found like 66 minutes in the Championship. He used to bring players on, and that would, yeah. So I don't know what's changed.
Okay, this is a question from Wazza, who is the legend somewhere out there. Out there he is, who's provided all these shirts and has said that if any are damaged, Ross has got to pay for them. So if you want to damage some of them, go for it. Yeah. This is a question for you, AJ. How on earth do newly promoted clubs bridge the gap?
Good question.
Very good question.
Short answer, they don't. It takes a lot of probably yo-yoing and things like this. I think that the gap is only going to get wider. I assume that everyone feels that way, and I think that the teams that come up next season, they're going to also find it really, really hard. It also just takes time to build the right kind of squads. Ipswich are going to go the right way about that, where the players that they've signed coming into this season will probably, when they hopefully bounce back to the Premier League, might become more fringe players and they strengthen again. So those are the different kinds of ways, but it is alarming the fact that we're talking about a team that's spent, how much since the start of last summer? 150 million, that's going to get, well, let's be honest, looks like it's going to get relegated fairly comfortably in the end. And it's something that needs... Don't do that. It's something that needs to be sorted, I think, really quickly, because it's just going to spiral out of control.
Okay, this next one is a good question. The person hasn't put a name on it, and I'm gonna call you out. If you're brave enough to ask this question, I want you to put a name to it and admit it, because it's going to go to Stuart Watson. Is Andy Warren too big time now? Who's that? What's your name? Pete. Pete, Stu, wants to know if your mate, Andy Warren, is too big time now.
Absolutely. Disappeared right up his own backside, let me tell you. See him in his little match day suit now, strutting around.
It does look like a school uniform, doesn't it?
I think he's great. This is, I'll ask you this, Ross. Question from Matt. Have we got, Matt is quite a common name, but the question is, if we have a second chance to go up again, so if Town get promoted again, what would they do? What would we do differently? Matt, where's Matt?
It's up there.
Where? Matt Casburn, again. So then, Ross, Town get back in the Premier League. I assume that's the question, Matt. What would they do differently?
Ooh.
Don't say just win more games.
Can I ask the audience?
That's not how this works.
Damn, that was the other game. The thing is, we're going to have some of the players that we've already signed this season. They're going to be playing the championship. They'll, that relationship will, be together. So I don't think we're going to be spending, 150 million on young upcoming championship players. So no, I think we just need to get more experience. That's what I'm hoping we'll do.
Yeah, is the question, if we reverse to last summer, and would you do things differently if you had this season again?
I guess that also works, yeah.
I guess one argument would be a bit more pragmatic, and I think Brentford are a good example that they took a bit of time to become the more free-flowing team that they are in the Premier League. It was quite pragmatic to start with, just stay in there to start with and then build into the Premier League. Have they been a little bit naive at times? Like we've said about, it's been a bit like for like, the changes, trying to stick the same way that got you there. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? And maybe in terms of recruitment, bit more Premier League experience, but easier said than done. But maybe a couple more players that knew the division a bit better.
Let's hope they get the chance. Craig wants to know, AJ, this is for you, very serious question. Do you believe in ghosts? Where's Craig? Craig at the back there.
Where are you, Craig?
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Have I ever seen a ghost? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's about it. Do I believe in ghosts? No. You know what? My family, I'm going to call them out. They're probably going to watch this back. They have some weird obsessions with ghosts. They've been watching all these programs. They've been to a Danny Robbins live show. They look at things like orbs and things on photos. So, but for me, no, you've had your time to boo me. But me personally, nah, not for me.
I'm going to ask this question as well to Ross, because if anyone's going to have seen a ghost or perhaps had a ghostly encounter or been harassed by a ghost, it feels like it might be you.
You're going to be very disappointed, but no, I don't believe in them. So sorry, guys. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So no.
Struck by lightning.
Yep. So.
Stu, have you ever seen? You got a really good story from your wife, haven't you, about premonitions?
Yeah, that's too long a story to tell
Okay,
now. But no, I've not seen a ghost.
Excellent.
And I don't believe.
Good. Let's move on. Where are we? This is from Ben. With relegation basically confirmed, who will leave in the summer? And Ben says Delap and Axel. Whereabouts is Ben? Thank you, Ben. Stick with you then, Stu. So, unfortunately.
Delap, yes. I think even with his stock having dropped, as we've discussed, I think he'll go. Axel, I guess, again, we're trying to find positives in negatives. The fact that he's had another injury setback maybe gives them half a chance of keeping him. Before that latest hamstring injury, I'd have said no chance. He's out of contract in the summer. I think The Athletic reported recently that he's got the 1-year option. I don't think he has, because Ipswich took that option last summer. So for me, he's shown more than enough that he's a Premier League player with his athleticism. Easy for me to say this year. So maybe the injuries gives them a chance of keeping him. But those two would have been right at the top of the list of kind of exits. But I don't think it's going to be a mass exodus this summer. When you look at it, I don't know if enough players have really sort of enhanced their reputation for people to be falling over themselves. So hopefully they can keep the core of this squad, the majority, together.
Let me ask you, Alex, as a kind of follow-up to that. How important is it, and we had all this Kieran McKenna circus last summer, how important is it if they do go down, they keep hold of McKenna in the summer?
Yeah, I think it's really important because everyone loves him and he manages to keep the club together. And when you see Leicester and Southampton in their situations, they are in meltdown. Like, it is a lot of vitriol aimed towards the two managers, and Town, points-wise in particular, aren't that much better off. And McKenna, I think, is a big part, just the belief that he instills in everyone. That being said, if and when Kieran McKenna does leave Ipswich Town, they will be in such a better position to get a top-level manager than they were before. So, yeah, when it does happen, I'm sure the club will have the right plans in place to go and get a really good option, but hopefully that's not going to be anytime soon.
Just by show of hands, if Town do go down, how many of you think that McKenna will stay? Overwhelming, pretty much, I'd say. Good stuff. Let's hope so. Right then, Ross, this is for you. This is from, I already know who this is. This is Mike Turbot, the legend, Turbo the Sailor. Where is he? There he is. This is for you then, Ross. Ipswich now sit 9 points from safety. If they were to pull off the great escape, where would this rank in Premier League's most dramatic endings? And where would it rank in Ipswich achievements? There's a lot of questions here, Mike. And what one thing needs to change for this to happen? I blame Ross for not passing his test.
Yeah.
So I think there are 3 questions there. Where would it rank in terms of Premier League? Where would it rank in Ipswich achievements? And what one thing, Ross, if you could change right now to make it happen, what would you do? Don't say just win games.
Yeah, that's the obvious answer, obviously. Maybe injuries, get more luck with injuries.
Right.
Obviously not get injuries, not, get luck with injuries. So that's the last question. The first question, I don't know my knowledge on Premier League survival, like relegation scraps, but I think it'll be up there, surely. Definitely with the position we're in right now, 9 points, 10 points, effectively with a goal difference. Sorry to remind you all. And then what was the second middle question? You're ranking it.
Where would it rank in Ipswich achievements? So if they do manage to stay up, I mean, clearly they've just had 2 incredible seasons, but if they manage to stay up, where would it rank?
It's got to be decent. Obviously, we won the FA Cup and UEFA Cup, so obviously that's up there. But it'll be up there. So they're not going to do it, though, are they? Yeah, in between there, yeah.
I hesitate to ask this, but we might as well because we've got you all here. How many people in the audience, by show of hands, think that Town are going to stay up?
Yes, mate!
Hey! Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Well, hopefully. I hope so. Okay, I don't know who this is from. Could you argue, AJ, that the summer recruitment was for a second season in the Championship rather than the Premier League? Thinking of the 5 to 10 year plan. Whose question is this? Is anyone going to put their hand to this? What's your name? James. So could you argue I mean, if they do go down, it's going to be #Championship Super Team, isn't it?
Well, yeah, in theory. I think Luton probably thought the same thing as well, but it's not really gone too well for them. Has it been planned for that? No. Has it been with that in mind? 100%, because they're not in a position where, and I think we found that in the summer, we didn't really think that, if this team goes down, it's going to be picked apart. And the fact that there are so many championship players, like really top-end championship players in there, means that if they're going to stay, they should, again, be top-end championship players, and that's where the Ipswich want to be if they're relegated. So I don't think that was the aim. I don't think they were sat there saying, Amari Hutchinson, Jayden Philogene, Dara O'Shea, they'd be good in the Championship when we get relegated. But I do think that it does come into consideration when you're looking further ahead in case the worst does happen.
You got any thoughts on that, Stu? Obviously, Mark Ashton's always kind of thinking ahead with his data dashboards and stuff. Clearly, I'd imagine he had to approach this with a realistic view of the Premier League and the step up. What do you make to that?
Yeah, clearly, the recruitment was with half an eye on realistically coming back down again. The other way of looking at it is, what was the alternative? Ipswich have made no secret of the fact they haven't got the foreign scouting network in place to be able to do what Brighton and Brentford and others have done. They were using Brighton's data model in the Championship, and then they got promoted, and Brighton said, well, you can't use that anymore because you're direct rivals. So the infrastructure just isn't in place here. Ipswich have risen very quickly. They're ahead of schedule. A lot of things weren't in place, so all things considered, they went with what they knew, which was the Championship and the players that they're up against. McKenna's used to working with young players, and that will be what the club points out, the age profile of these players. 3 of England under-21s forwards in the squad at the moment. Delap will probably go, but this is a squad that hopefully can grow together over a period of time.
Absolutely. Another question without a name, but a good question. What's happened to our patterns of play? Who's asked this one? Right there. What's your name? Dale. What's happened to our patterns of play? This is something we were lamenting today, AJ. We saw they were so cohesive. They knew they had that kind of connection in the Championship, didn't they? Clearly there's been a lot of turnover. We were talking about the amount of players starting today that have come through that Championship side. There weren't a lot. And at times it just looked like they didn't know what the other player was going to do. It was quite frustrating, wasn't it?
It was, and when you look at the forward line, 2 of those 4 were signed in January. One of them's not really played that much when you look at Julio Enciso and the fact he picked up that knock. And there's only so much you can do in training compared to when you're then out there on a pitch competing against some of the best players in the world. So part of it, 100%, has to be the fact that there's a lot of chopping and changing. Injuries will obviously play a part, new signings will play a part, and it's getting to know people, and that doesn't happen in a matter of weeks, as we saw with the League One and the Championship teams. And the other thing as well is that Premier League teams are quite good at playing football, and they know what you're going to do. And it's sometimes a little bit different to playing against Oxford and, I don't know, a Hull, compared to when you're coming up against the Nottingham Forest side that are going to be probably playing in the Champions League next season, and they're going to be more prepared for what you're going to do compared to other rivals.
Okay, right. This is from Peachy. There he is. That's for me. Thank you, Chris. Where is Benson? Benson. I'm not sure I've mentioned this on the pod. Benson. I've just been on holiday. Got home. Benson gets very grumpy. I don't know if any of you have any experience with bulldogs. They really take it personally if you ever leave them. First night back, Benson, in the middle of the night, essentially made a dirty protest on the floor. I didn't. It was dark. I got up to go to the toilet. I stepped in it. It was a real welcome back to the UK moment. So for that reason, he's not here, because he would be defecating all over this lovely carpet. Right, a couple more questions. Has McKenna made too many mistakes this season? Who has asked this? There you are. What's your name? Mitch. Mitch. I'm going to ask you both this.
Oh, no.
Start with you, Stu. Has McKenna made too many mistakes this season?
You can't keep asking yourself what could he have done differently. I think if you start with recruitment, and I think recruitment is king in football. If you don't get that right, you're off to a bad start. Law of averages, when you're spending that much money, bringing in the quantity of players, some were going to be hits and some were going to be misses. The goalkeeper was obviously got themselves in a bit of a muddle with that one, and they've now got to unpick that in the summer. But I would still argue, when you go through it, there's probably more hits than misses. Tactically, we've talked about the timing of subs. Maybe he could have been a bit more pragmatic with things, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. I don't know if there's loads that you can say that that have been massive errors, glaring errors along the way. There has been a lot of bad luck with injuries, which has not enabled them. We're talking a lot about chemistry and patterns of play and things like that. They've never been able to get a consistent team out on the pitch. They needed a fair wind this season to stand a chance, and they never seem to have caught that fair wind, it feels like to me.
Same question to you, AJ?
No, I don't think he has made too many mistakes, and the mistakes that I think maybe in hindsight that have been made are things that you have to allow a first-time Premier League manager who is, 39 is he now, to make, coming in with a newly promoted team. You just have to allow that. And when I go back and look through all the little things I would tweak again in hindsight, because I don't think we would have, if we were sat managing Ipswich, I don't think we would have done that much different personally. I just think they're fairly small things, and as Stu says, you need everything to go into your favour to be able to compete at this level, especially with the drawbacks that Ipswich have had coming into the season. So I don't think that as and when Ipswich are relegated out of the Premier League, when you're looking back and talking about the things that McKenna's done wrong.
Just again, by show of hands, how many people in here think, if anyone thinks, that McKenna has been found wanting this season in terms of the step up to the Premier League? Anyone think he is making mistakes? Got a couple. Yeah? Very true. Back to Nathan Broadhead. Here we go. Right, one final question. It's Saturday night, so we're missing gladiators. I feel you. I love gladiators. If you made it through the selection process, obviously I would. To be a gladiator, what would be your gladiator name? This comes from Neil Diamond and Maddie. There you are. My gladiator name would be Ruptured ACL. I'd be useless. Stu, what would be your gladiator name? I mean, you hit the gym, boy.
Baldy.
Fear Baldy. And what would yours be, AJ?
You've gone with Voice of an Angel, but I don't really know. Is there any other suggestions that we have?
The Musketeer, because of your facial
we'll
hair.
have that then.
D'Artagnan.
That's a good one. Yeah, Musketeer.
I bloody love Gladiator, so don't you? Does your daughter like it?
Yeah, it's quite nice sort of reconnecting with childhood. Gladiators was a childhood staple.
100%. Right, from one great show to another. We're going to finish the show now in the only way we possibly could. This is going to be a disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to play the second ever live strike.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Strike! Brought to you by the greatest quiz show host on planet Earth, producer Ross!
Okay, Ross, obviously you're going to lead this part of the show. I'll tee you up, though, just to point out the winner, as we've mentioned several times, is going to win that priceless piece of Nathan brought it, piece of goldware. They will obviously become the second ever winner of the live strike. They'll become the 13th friend of the show. Prestigious. You will also win this from our sponsor, inspired by Alex Jones, a Biscoff biscuit vodka liqueur. Woo! There are also prizes for both other contestants. So Ross, he says, hesitantly, over to you.
Bear with me. I did trip up there, so that was good. When I did a turn, I thought I was going to jump on John's lap there. That would have been...
There are worse places to be.
True. King of the North. So yeah, I do need 3 contestants. So put your hands up if you want to take part in the strike. Callum, I saw your name. Come up, my friend. Anybody else? Anybody else?
We need 3. Come on.
3 more.
We need 3. Come on.
3 more.
James, you cannot.
Sorry, James, you've
You've
won
got
already,
your
mate.
crown. Who's this?
Pete, come on then, Pete. There we go. 3 fine gentlemen. Lovely hair. Woo.
Wow.
Look at that. Hello.
Good Lord.
Woo. Stu's very jealous.
You're handsome, sir. You look like a gladiator.
All right, Pete.
One more.
Pete, you coming up?
One more.
Oh, you're Pete?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. James. Come on, my friend.
Give it up for James, everyone.
Woo. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Okay, we need mics. We need mics.
Yes. One for you. Thank you very much. Shambles already.
Thank you very much.
And we need another mic for good old Callum here.
There you go, Callum. In true Ross style, I haven't got a muff.
True that. Pete, we're going to start with you. That is Pete, yeah. Introduce yourself to the beautiful audience that we've got here. How long have you been a town fan? How long have you been a listener of KOA?
Ooh, is this working?
Is it working?
Hello?
Oh, God. It's not my fault.
Hello?
Oh, God.
Would you like another?
Dearie me. This is not my fault. Gareth?
I've been a season ticket holder since 92-93 season. And I've been listening to KOA since almost the start, I would say. Almost the start.
Love that. Love that, Pete. Yeah, definitely then. James, can you top that?
I can't quite top that. Lifetime supporter of Ipswich Town. Season ticket holder for the last 4 or 5 years. And listener to KOA for the last, again, 4 or 5 years or so.
Love it, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Very good. Callum, over to you.
Unfortunately, I haven't been a season ticket holder for the last 40 years or so, as you may be able to tell. Best part of 15 years, 5 years or so on the KOA team.
Love it. Love it. There you go. Love that. So, I assume you know what the strike... No, that's not a question, unfortunately. I may fit it in there at some point. But yeah, we've got 10 questions, so bear with me. If he was not happy about that when I told him that. And a tiebreaker. Yeah. And you know, yeah, someone needs to keep cool. And we've also got whiteboards. Oh, bloody hell, boys and girls. All right, bear with me. AJ, come on, help me out.
Oh, no, what am I doing?
I'm the host.
What am I doing?
Whiteboards to these fine gentlemen here.
Whiteboards to the gentlemen.
So yeah. I didn't think this through, guys. This shambles already. Come on. Yeah, plenty of
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It'll get better. Don't worry, guys. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Yeah, this is the ending of the show. Right, pens. A little bit of rubbers as well. There we go. Should have done it. All right, boys.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. That was that. So yeah, as I said, we've got 10 questions, and yeah, and it's the initials. Come on, boys and girls. Come on. 10 questions, and they're initials of KOA Live 2. So we've got K, and then all the rest of theirs. So, yeah. So K is for Miles Kenlock. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Watson's man, chicken runner, and all that. Yeah, bless him. Question 1 is on Miles Kenlock, obviously. What squad number did he wear at Ipswich Town? Was it 19, 23, or 30? Don't shout out the answer. That isn't the answer. That isn't the answer. Isn't the answer. Also, shout out to my fiancée Sasha for writing out these, because my handwriting is dreadful. So.
Oh, we haven't got pen.
So, there we go. Okay. Oh, bloody hell. They're bloody new. I bought these on Amazon earlier. All right, rubber ducky. Do I need that?
Oh, it's on the floor.
What's on the floor?
Oh,
all right, boys. Show me your answers. 23, 30, 30. Correct answer, because someone shouted it out earlier. It is 30. There we go. So 1. AJ. Oh, we ain't got a pen. Oh.
We haven't got another pen.
Stu, keep in your head. Keep in your head. Anyone else keep score. So it's 1-0, Pete. Sorry, mate. You'll claw it back, I'm sure. O is for Tommy Orr. Remember him? Oh, Tommy Orr. Check out my KOA podcast special with him last year after the show. Maybe tomorrow, because you'll be, chilling later. Which Dutch club did Town sign him from in 2015? Was it Alkmaar, Heerenveen, or Utrecht? Tommy Orr, the Australian. So I was excited when he signed. Really exciting. And then played like 7 games, I think. Yeah, bless him. Yeah. Nice bloke, though. Nice bloke. He did. So, all right. No one shout the answer, please. Oh, no. You don't do that. You never change your answer because you regret it.
That's probably not spelled right.
That's fine. It's fine. I don't know if it's spelled right here. Although that'd be Sasha's fault because she wrote this out, but she did copy off mine. Yeah.
Do you know it's definitely the correct answer, though?
Yes. I double, triple checked. All right, boys, what do you reckon? Show the audience and myself. Alkmaar, Heerenveen, Utrecht. Ooh, hello. Tension. We've got tension music? No, we ain't got a budget for that. Is Utrecht. So Callum. Go. Love that. Played. So
Definitely knew that answer, and it wasn't a guess at all.
Don't mind it. So we've done K, we've done O. Now A. Anglia. A is for Alan Armstrong. Also cheeky plug. Check out my KOA podcast special with him. That was out last year. Into Milan goal. Header. Love it. So many plugs. How many goals did he score for Town in 94 games? So who gets it bang on? Double the point. So Pete could get him back in the game here, mate. But if you get it obviously closest to the correct answer, gets the point. Obviously, I've really given you 1 goal, the Inter Milan goal. So did he score any more after that? I hope he did, because he's a striker. That would have been good.
No options here. We just got.
No, yeah, you just got to guess. You got to guess.
So in what season? Sorry?
No, 94 games.
Oh, 94 games.
How many goals did he score? So, yeah. Good at Armstrong. Good lad. All right. Oh, James got it really locked in. Oh.
I don't remember him being prolific.
All right, ready? Show me now. Guess what? Someone's got to bang on. Whoa! And he knows, because I looked in his eyes, his beautiful locks. Pete, bang on! Come on! Back in the game. What's the points?
7.
No, 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. 2-1-2. Thanks, Maddie. Okay, so now on to... That's the wrong one. Where is it? We're now on to L. Live. We're live. Not obviously live to the world, because
Ain't got that stuff. L is for Massimo Luongo. He's here, there, and every... Can we...
Has he bought his ticket?
No, he didn't reply. Didn't reply, bless him. Yeah. He's not in the squad, is he? So, bless him. Anyway, what is his middle name? Is it Corey, Kevin, or Zachary? Zachary? Is it? Yeah, come on. Love that. Anybody? Have we got any Corys, Kevins, or Zacharys in the house? No, we don't. So is it Massimo, Corey, Luongo? Is it Massimo, Kevin Luongo, or Massimo, Zachary Luongo? What do you reckon, boys? Zachary, Corey. Bloody hell, Pete. It's Corey, mate. Ah. So Alan Callum James, just still involved, of course. Alan and James. Good. Okay, I is for...
223. 223.
That is actually. It's Ivar Ingemarson. Yeah. Bless him. He's good at Reading, wasn't he? But that's not obviously it. But yeah, which Nordic country is he from? Finland, Iceland, or Sweden? Ivar Ingemarson. Ivar, you don't know? Ivar Ingemarson? He played like 12 games in 2011, 12 under Paul Jewell. All right. Yeah, it was. Right, Iceland. We've got a triple threat winner here. Yeah. It is Iceland. There you go. Points for everybody. V is for Kane Vincent Young. Good. Sweet boy. Sweet Kane Vincent Young. He recently won his first caps for which Caribbean country? Yeah. Was it Barbados, St. Lucia? Oh, God. Is it Grenada? Grenada? So yeah, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada. Kane Vincent Young won his first caps recently. It's November, so it's recently-ish.
Recent enough.
Yeah, recent enough, yeah. What's the scores, by the way, quickly? 3-3-4. 3-3. Ooh. Okay, come on, Pete. No, bloody hell, Pete. No, you can't change it. Oh, okay. Oh, hello. Oh.
Yes.
It is Grenada, but Pete did switch it. Yeah, gonna give him a point. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, James.
Can I contest that?
You're winning, mate, so it's fine. James, no, not James. Pete and Callum got that one right. Right, E is for my boy, my former boy, Gwion Edwards, the Welsh. Yeah, good. Yeah. Oh, have I missed G? Oh, what? Oh, no. Oh, Big G. Sorry.
There's no G in KOA Live.
True that. Because E is of E of Live. So we're now at the end of KOA Live. Not yet, because we've still got a few more questions. But yeah, Gwion Edwards, how many goals did he score for Town in 108 games? I can give you one here.
Got 108 games?
Yes, 108 games. He scored on his debut, so that's a goal for you against Blackburn. Yeah. Remember, if you were a listener back in the day, I did a bit of a hot take. He'll be our top goal scorer that season, and he scored like 6 goals. Oh, God, I'll give you more now.
So it's about 6 or 7.
I'm going to stop talking now. Come on, boys. I might help you this time, Pete. All right. Good number.
Hold on, I'm still choosing an answer. I'm sorry.
I like 12. That's my favourite number. Oh, and no one's got to bang on, but James is the closest. It's 14. Come on, James. You're back in the game. All right. T. So I'm going to do the 2 into a word. So 2 is for J-Tab. Yeah. Tabby Alonso. Yeah, anyway. Mick McCarthy's favourite boy.
What squad number did he wear at Town? Was it 12, 18, and 24? Now, Sasha by accidentally circled 2 numbers here to be the correct answer, but I do know, don't worry. I know my J-tab calls numbers. Yeah, I am sure. I'm sure you guys know, maybe. J-tab, squad number. Okay, that's fine. 18. Sorry, Pete, it's 18, mate. Not Pete. Yes, sorry, Pete. That's all right. All right, you get this one, maybe. Oh, you got to get bang on, actually. You could get this bang on. Richard Wright, W. Yeah, love it. How many clean sheets did he keep in 355 games? I had to do a bit of research for this. I had to go through all the bloody games he played because it wasn't on like a stats website. So I had to like really go through every games. So bang on, double the points. Closest gets the point. You know the game already. So Richard Wright. Yep. Ipswich boy, goalkeeper. Sorry, no Nathan Broadhead questions for me tonight. Sorry to say that.
Tough one, isn't it?
All right, boys. What do you reckon?
Very tough.
Oh. He's moving. I thought I was going to be in trouble there.
Probably too high.
I might have gone too high.
105, 45, 97. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cheer Pete because he's the closest. It's 116. 16! Woo! No, mate. Really good.
Rossi, is there one question left?
Yes!
Do you want to know the scores?
Yeah, got scores. Come on.
It's tight.
Ooh.
Is it just 1 point for the final question?
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah.
There's a
So the
tie break.
scores, as it stands, with one question left: Callum 6, James 5, Pete 5. Oh.
Now, I don't think Callum was born when this player played. So, sorry, Callum. I did not, didn't mean this to happen. But O, of the 2, is Roger Osborne. Good old lad. FA Cup winning goal. Love it. 1978. Yeah, love it. Correct. Arsenal, yeah. All the questions. Ooh. Now, in which Suffolk village was he born? Was it Otley, Rendlesham, or Westerfield? Someone did shout Westerfield out, but that could be a trick question. But yeah, Roger Osborne, local lad, FA Cup winning goal, lovely story. What's football's all about? All right, Pete. Oh! It's Westerfield. No, it's not. It's Otley. It's Otley. So Callum wins. So Callum and James got that correct. So is Callum 1? Oh, hello.
I feel like
I can confirm Callum has won, but has he?
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, is he gonna?
Of course
Nathan
he's won,
Broadhead. No. Yeah, we've got a tiebreaker, Callum. So no pressure, mate. You've got this beautiful audience in front of you who are just gonna stare in your eyes and want to ask for a tiebreaker. Are we gonna do it?
I'll let the audience decide. Do we want a tiebreaker?
Yes!
The audience has spoken, Ross. The answer is no. No, let's go for it.
All right, love it. Now, got a Canadian brute here, Jason DeVos. Now a cheeky plug. I've got a KOA podcast coming out with him soon, so check that out when it's come out. Oh, what's that? Oh.
I think that was AI. I don't know.
That's Jason DeVos calling him saying, what are you talking about? Yeah. Anyway, Jason DeVos, podcast coming out soon. How many goals did Jason DeVos score for Town in 179 games? So James, Pete, if you get it bang on, my friends.
How many games?
179. So Callum, you can play, but technically...
I'm playing.
Yeah. All right, come on, James.
Just to confirm, Ross, they need to get it bang on.
You got to get bang on, yeah. You can't be closest. You got to get bang on.
Okay.
All right. Oh. Yeah, come on, Callum. What do you reckon, ladies and gentlemen? How many goals Jason DeVos scored? A few. And none of you are right. So. Oh, bloody hell, Callum! He's got a bang on.
Is it a look?
He's got a bang on. Well,
Well, he's just won the whole bloody damn thing, hasn't he? He's won the whole damn thing.
You're
So
not about to tell me there's a second tiebreaker, are you?
How many Jaffa cakes are they eating today? I'm joking. Well, Callum, congratulations. Heath, I'll let you take over. Hope you've enjoyed the strike, ladies and gentlemen. That was a shambles. As ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you. That was good. Guys, thank you very much for taking part. No one leaves the strike without a prize, courtesy of our sponsor, Stardust Spirits. You have a selection pack. That's for you.
Thank you very much.
And that's for you, James.
Strike on, thank you.
Thank you very much. Callum, you are the winner, the second ever winner of the live strike. Do you guys want to head off stage? I'm not sure you can get off that way.
Be careful, please.
We have, you stay here, you come centre of stage. This is called upstage, I believe. Oh. What we need to do now is present you with this prestigious trophy. Wow. You become the 13th friend of the show in KOA history, and I want the 12th to come up here and present it. Ladies and gentlemen, the King of the North, John Watson, and I believe as well we have two other kings in attendance, two other friends of the show. So Harvey Davis, I can't see. Where are you, Harvey? You come up as well, please, sir. And Stefan Vashik, where are you? You're over there. You come up as well, please, sir. Boys, please be upstanding. This is the finale, boys. Give it some energy. Now then, here we go. We have friends of the show all over the stage. First of all, Callum, how are you feeling?
Extremely nervous.
Are you? Are you really?
At the beginning of the evening, you said that for somebody it would be the best night of
Yes.
their life.
Has it been?
Yes.
It's about to be.
Absolutely.
We can give the King of the North this no expense spared. Just be careful because it's very sharp as well. Don't cut yourself. Made of gold. The top doesn't come off. That's better. Safe. I would ask you, John, to present this now to Callum with some words of wisdom, if you could.
Words of wisdom. You don't know me very well, Mark. Well, it's a great privilege to be asked as a friend of the show to pass the mantle over to the newest recruit. Wear this with pride. Yeah, on your head. Congratulations. I'm sure everybody's going to give you a massive round of applause and you're going to go mental, aren't you?
Am I going to get booed?
No. So, here we go.
Good.
Now, Callum, take this. We're going to build.
Too heavy. I need
We're going to
somebody to
build
take
the
them up.
tension here because what I want to do is I want to get that. Ladies and gentlemen, your new friend of the show, the live strike champion, Callum Brissett. The best night of his life. Milk it, Callum, come on. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for this evening. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for supporting the show. I hope you had a great night. Safe journey home. Thank you once again from all of us. KOA is for everyone.